So Mevon Soodeen, you know we're going to serve. Let me say that again. Mevon Soodeen. You see when I started drink what's happening? Everything good, brother?
Very good.
I like to keep these things positive by starting on a heavy note, you know.
A heavy tongue.
I realize that's the problem. I realize you're a football fan.
I am avid.
Yeah.
Avid.
A real
Sports
Warriors
fan,
man.
you know. Sports fan. I love my country.
Right.
I support anything that you're not involved in. So
How you find me looking?
defensively, atrocious. But I love my country. I love my team. I love football. I love the Soca Warriors. And I'm hopeful. I've seen a few patterns of play and I could see little improvements.
Yeah.
I just think defensively we have plenty work to do.
For you to say that, I mean you're really following the team. Because
course.
for a while now, I didn't see the team play with a system that you could pick out.
Yeah.
And at least you could see we trying a system.
You can clearly see a pattern of play. You can see identity 4 minutes. It's in there yet. But we get in there. And I could see the little improvements. Hopefully, by the time September comes, we kind of iron out them little kinks. But we have work to do.
Yeah, little improvement is last time we went to the States, the last 2 times we get 6, now we get 5. So that's a little improvement. No, I mean, we headed in the right direction. But the Gold Cup, that's one of them that was always a little difficult for me as a country, no matter who was the team.
I think it's only very like a handful of times we ever make it to the second round.
Yeah.
That could have been Angus Eve times and
Right,
then a long time ago.
Yeah, Angus was one of the more successful teams.
Yeah.
But for a long time, even since the earliest days, the USA has hosted. I don't like them artificial turf they play on.
Yeah.
Because I realized the ball bouncing around. Something was going wrong with we play against the US.
Man was just slipping to our
Yeah, that artificial turf, I don't think they could use it for the World Cup.
Yeah.
But apparently they have it for the Gold Cup.
You
So
know
if-
what's really disappointed in? Is a USA match in the USA. They see them was like Eddie Hart.
Yeah.
Hardly had people.
Well, I can tell you why, though. I can tell you why. Because the people who support soccer could get deported. Men trying to make sure.
Yeah.
ICE announced that they was going to be there for the Gold Cup. They said so before the tournament.
I was surprised the Mexicans show up to see Mexico.
Yeah, no, that's illegal ones. Anybody who borderline ain't showing up there at all.
Yeah.
So keeping it positive still, but our next heavy note that starts on your double choices, brother.
Yeah. Well,
They're heavy. They're
well,
looking good.
to be quite honest with you, I am a very basic doubles guy. I am doing these wild adventures with Rome to promote a song we did called Bara. Right? So in keeping with the theme of the song, we're doing some promo to not just highlight small businesses, but to make it interesting and see what adventurous doubles it have out there.
Yeah.
My personal choice, I am a simple doubles man.
Right.
Slice pepper everything.
And that's it.
That's it.
I see with the smoke carrying on the
No, I didn't eat smoking.
Oh, you didn't?
I ate a regular.
Uh-huh.
Rome and Rendelina, they try smoke carrying.
So is it editing then?
Correct.
Because I see many smoker and then I hear you say, it's in bad, no, it won't
No. I take a base doubles. A basic. Regular chana, pepper, sweet sauce, cucumber.
Yeah, simple.
Basic.
All right, you're back in my good
Yeah,
books. I
didn't eat no. I don't even eat smoke carrying on a general.
Serious?
I don't like smoke carrying and saltfish. I'll eat akra.
Yeah.
But I don't really like the taste of...
adding up here. But but it's buljol and
the texture, we need that. So,
got you.
worse yet, in our pizza or in our doubles.
Yeah. That's the thing with me. That's the thing.
And
if
if
Italians saying no pineapple on pizza, we can't put smoker in and double. You can't do it. You can't do it.
That is weird to me. So I did not try no smoker in gizzard, lizard, liver, beef, none of that.
Oh.
But I had the ham.
It was I see you promoting the ham.
I had the ham doubles.
There's on Mount Kokoro days, right?
Right next to St. Anthony's Church.
Oh, that's where they are.
Right on the bell, like opposite the Panyard there.
Okay.
Right there, Fat Boys doubles.
So it worth trying.
No, as I said, I am a Dago person, born and bred, right? So I grew up Dago all my life. That ham doubles has been in existence for a while.
Oh, serious?
But I was never adventurous enough to try it because to me that is craziness. Sacrilegious almost to put ham in doubles.
Right.
But we doing this promo and Rome was like, "Hey, boy, let me go now, boy. Come now, boy." And it's like, you know what? I'll go. And I mean, as I said in my Instagram video, people let's eat ham and cheese.
Right.
In Trinidad, we actually eat chana and cheese and hops by nips.
Makes sense.
Right? So we eat chana and cheese, we eat ham and cheese.
Yeah.
So the flavors of ham, chana and cheese together is not that weird if you think about it.
I guess you're right.
Yeah, it's not that weird. Ham and cheese is
that lady on Bones Road used to sell some, the same way you sell aloo pie with chana, she used to sell cheese pie with chana.
Yeah.
It's called peas and cheese, and it's good on good.
So chana and cheese is a thing. You never ever nix in Carnival.
Yeah, I
nix,
suppose. Yeah,
hops, chana and cheese. That's a thing.
Time we used to lime, what's the club name heading down Central Side, boy? Not a club, it's a restaurant in the day and it's in a club, La Penca.
Right.
And when you leave in La Penca now,
that's still around.
I don't know, I think it's still bubbling.
Like Freeport.
Yeah, Freeport. So you gotta go back under the bridge and come back up through the back, and it's some men after La Penca when you done powder, have some hops and chana.
And that's a thing, bro. That was saying. So people think is that weird, but I mean, when you look at it, it look weird, and I think hearing it,
it's some
ham,
weird.
Chana, ham in doubles, somewhere. But I'm not promoting nobody here, but the flavor of the ham add like a little saltiness, a little elevated flavor to it.
Makes sense.
And the texture of it wasn't meaty; it was thin slice. So like when it is you grab a scoop of chana and thing, you don't really taste it.
I'm with you.
So I would say try it. It's not something I would go and be like, I feel it for ham doubles.
Right.
Nah, bro.
But good to try it. No,
yeah, it actually tastes good.
Yeah. I like the idea of what they're doing too, though, promoting his song and, you know, showing up like
culture.
some doubles people. Yeah, it's part of the culture.
Yeah,
the food and the music and all them things.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. That was one of the things I decided to, Rome and I work very, very closely. We are not just artist who I work with, but he's my personal friend too.
Right.
And we always discuss ideas of how we would promote and just improve ourselves now as producer and artist, that kind of thing. So we wanted to improve the content game, you know, because people want to fall in love or they want to connect to the person.
Right.
It's not an artist who is untouchable or unreachable.
Yeah, them days done, right?
Exactly. You have to show your person, your personality.
Right.
And anybody knows Rome and I, we have very strong personalities. We very, I don't know toot more on, but we're very charismatic, very friendly. We could go anywhere. As I say, we
fall in.
We could fall in and make friends like that.
Yeah.
You know, so it's not hard for us to express ourselves on camera. So we just decided to come up with creative ways to show that and still promote the music, where it's not like, oh, they go and stream music right through.
Yeah,
go and stream music. It's kind of boring. I don't want to buff anybody. Exactly. So we make it a kind of popular culture or a social thing where people engross with what we're doing and also hear the song as well too now. Yeah. So it's a kind of balance we're trying to find where it's not like every day go and promote my song, go and stream my song. It's like, oh God.
That's good. So only working together on not just the concept for this song, but also
marketing.
Everything.
Yeah.
I see.
Music video, social media, artwork, lyric video, everything. And that's how I am as a creative. When it is I make beats or I make songs, I actually see visuals, you know.
Right.
I do my own artwork. Most of the times I do my own artwork, you know, so when I hear things, I actually see colors. So I kind of know the mood of this beat, giving me like dark energy, or if it's happy, I'll think bright, red, yellow, orange, purple. And that's how my brain operates now, boy. So I try to envision that. So when it is, sometimes I tell somebody to do something and they can't execute it, I just do it myself.
Right, yeah.
You know, and that's how I am, because in my mind I already have a vision.
Of course, you see in the end point.
I see in it. So, and Roma's like that with music videos. So if he does he do a song with me, he don't see in storyline, location, who we want. He'll be like, I need this girl, I need this fella, I need this prop.
Sure.
And that's how we are now. So it's a real interesting dynamic when it comes to working with Rome, because it's not just about the music. It's
that's
full
typical
on.
for you working with artists, or just
I am very hands-on in my projects.
Yeah.
And as I was telling you before, like I'm very involved in music video, shoots, artwork, mix master, beat recording.
Yeah, Keek say he can't afford it again. You see that? Keek say I cannot go back by Mevon.
Keeks could check me anytime.
So for people who might know, right, Mevon, you're only explicit.
Yeah.
You used to hear it a lot with Soca, P.A.R.D.Y and them things back in the day. Fast forward to today, when people hear Mevon Soodeen, you get immediately attached to P.A.R.D.Y, right?
Yeah.
Which is not just a road march, but one of the biggest road marches we see in a long, long time.
Thank you.
I want to come back to that.
Yeah.
But I want to understand how you get into music in the first place.
Right. And that's a real interesting question because the answer is not as cool as probably people think it is now.
Right.
I didn't grow up in a family of musicians. No. I didn't grow up with any musicians in my family, as a matter of fact. My parents were very regular. Yeah. They worked regular jobs. And I came from very humble beginnings. I didn't have no instruments, no musicians, no singers, nothing in my family.
Serious?
Nothing. None whatsoever. Right? But I went to P.A.R.D.Y primary school, and I think going to school in St. James exposed me to the culture in a kind of way.
Well, St. James just make everything better. Just want to add that thing.
Yeah.
Right?
So I went to P.A.R.D.Y and the students who were in my class who say tassa, drumming,
of course,
culture, even the teachers like learning the folk songs and all them Nancy stories and all that kind of thing. Like the teachers who were there really exposed us from a very young age the culture and the folk side of Trinidad now. Learning about all them mango over, man, I'm gonna tell me, man, don't send me though. All them kind of songs I would have learned in primary school. Big up Miss Brong. Miss Brong was from Bonds Road. No, she was just my first year and second year teacher. But she was so involved in the culture and the arts itself that she really exposed us to that now. And as I said, like a lot of these students who were in my classes, they would have been living Bonds Road,
right, of course,
or in St. James. And then anybody grew up St. James know about who say and thing.
Of course, yeah.
And it's drumming. So that's when they come in classes, everybody.
Yeah.
And everybody drumming. So I know I don't want to lose out. It's a boys' school I go in. You had to learn to drum
too. Be on the outside.
Exactly. So I started to learn to drum, beat desk and thing, and they say, wait, I fall in love with this now. You know, so I think when I think back at it, that is where I really got exposed to music and really start to listen to music in a different way now. And then fast forward to that, as a teenager, I went to St. James Sec.
Right.
So P.A.R.D.Y, more St. James. Right. And when I was growing up, the cool thing as a teenage boy was to be a DJ. Right. So I had my friends home and stuff, and then going to school, and we had our little song system, you know, and it was Explicit Songs. That was our name. And the reason why we had the name Explicit is because long time when you buy a CD, you used to see parental advisory explicit content. And nobody, well, I didn't like to collect no censored version of those songs.
Yeah.
I wanted the raw thing. I wanted to hear what the man had to say.
That's what the song.
Yeah.
That's the song.
So when I listened to DMX and Jay-Z and thing as a child,
no edited
I don't want to hear no edited version. 50 Cent, I wanted to hear the raw version. So explicit was a word that resonated with me.
Understood.
And then when I got older, I really understood the deeper meaning of the word explicit. Right? I don't want to get into me yet, but
that's what we're here for.
Yeah, I guess. But explicit means to be very direct and unambiguous.
Right.
Very straightforward. And anybody who knows me personally knows I'm very outspoken and very straightforward. What you see is what you get. I am not afraid to speak my mind and say it as it is. So I felt like that word has something special when it comes to me. Lots of people look at explicit and be like cussing and whatever. That's what you think, but explicit means to be direct.
Of course.
You know, so
which just takes some cussing sometimes.
Sometimes, if need be. You know? So that is what the word and the name came from. But from DJing, I started to learn to do remixes. So I would download like instrumentals, like famous instrumentals and famous acapellas, and just do little remixes myself.
You was doing dub plating and that kind of thing, because that would
no. I wasn't. We wasn't retro, wasn't making no money. We was just doing house party and thing, and we was on girls. I wasn't on no clash thing. We was just on. Hey, it's cool to be a DJ.
With you.
And my 3-4 partners, we just have a little computer and thing, and CDs and CD case and the cassette, and going in the market and flea market and buying all them sizzler tape and all kind of.
When I'm watching you online, I'm sure you don't know why it's a cassette.
Bro, I 38, boy.
Man looking young.
Yeah. So that's the thing, I grew up under that. So when it is we started doing the DJ thing, I learned eventually how to start making beats. Whenever a childhood friend of mine gave me Fruity Loops 3. I remember it good. And I started to make beats. and I would take like a Jay-Z or a 50 Cent a cappella and put it and make a beat around it.
Right.
Song like a real trash, But I was so proud of it. I burn it on a CD and I playing it to my Discman and what people to listen to in school. Oh, hear this, I make this. I was like, wait, I real man. And then take the gas up. For years, I take the gas up.
Right.
And I just started to enhance that skill of making beats.
So you learn that? How are you learning to do it?
I just do that for myself.
Just try it and trial and error.
Yeah, and nobody didn't teach me. It had no YouTube. YouTube was probably in its infant stages at the point in time. Yeah, you know, it wasn't about tutorials and things at the point in time.
Yeah.
So I was literally trial and error. But I loved it now. I love creating, and I think that is when I really started to explore the music side, because even before that, in school, as a creative child, I always used to draw. And I could still real draw up to this day.
So your family drawing and things?
No
kind of...
none of that. I normal people, boy. It's not no artist. It's not no artist. It's not no singer, no musician. The only musical instrument you could have find in my house was a recorder.
Yeah.
Because my father and them had to buy it. A recorder, a thing of poster paints,
remember,
and a sketch pad, and a geometry pad. That is me.
I'm with you.
But I used to like that.
Right, all right.
So I used to paint and draw. My mom had shown me recently a Bible from when we was younger. In the back of the Bible is all kind of Ninja Turtles I drawing in the back it, and it's still there.
Yeah, you must keep them things.
And she have it.
Good.
So I just showing you ice in church, Probably has 6, 7. And I drawing Leonardo and Donatello and thing. Ninja Turtles were my favorite cartoon growing up as a child now, boy. So I used to be drawing Ninja Turtles and Street Fighter and all kind of thing, because that was the time. It's Nintendo.
Of course. Yeah, boy. Cartridge.
Cartridge. Blowing them tips.
People might know it.
Yeah. So that's the era I grew up on. So I started to draw the characters.
Right.
So I always had a passion for drawing.
Guys were doing the artwork and things must come out.
Yeah. When I left St. James Sec, well, I did art for CXC too, you know.
Oh, I see.
I love I did art, technical drawing. I did them kind of subjects now.
But music, you never continue in education.
Music in school was boring. Music in school was boring. And I mean, thankfully enough, I used to go 1 or 2 of the classes, so I retained some knowledge. So I know where's an octave and a quaver and a semitone, and I learned the basics. And I mean, to this day, I use that basic knowledge, you know. But I wouldn't even say if I could do it again, I would, because my experience in school, music was real theory and real boring, you know, for me. And it was the recorder and piano, and it wasn't cool for me now.
Of course.
You know, when I go in the art room, and we could paint people and go out in the yard and paint a tree and paint people and draw people, and it was just more cool. It was a more creative, expressive environment, and you're not being judged now. You know, so in music, if I don't know something, I had people who was real good in music, they're making me feel dumb because I don't, you know, to them. You know, I don't really know, I can't really read the music and your manuscript and your drawing treble clef, and
Boy, Mevon, I want to put it on record, right, that while we're recording this today, I was telling you before we started, I put out an episode, Kenny Phillips episode out this week, and I put out an episode about the Kenny Phillips episode.
Right.
I want to record that. I recorded that before we talking now, right? So when we're done here, I want you to listen to that.
Right.
Yeah, because the more I talk to musicians or people like yourself, you're all shaping what the culture is, right?
Yeah.
The same way you're watching Kenny Phillips and you tell me, boy, this episode will be good. You have to understand that very young children will be saying that about you.
Possibly.
No, guaranteed. They're going to talk about you in the same way.
Yeah.
And when I talk to y'all who doing it now, and the people who've done it, who I idolize then, all of them say music theory was boring.
Yeah.
Whether it's in pan, it's in production, it's artists. Almost all. I ain't saying they don't have the formally trained ones. But it must be something we could do differently with education with children, you know?
Exactly. And I think moving forward, like now in this modern age, with all the tools and technology available, I think there's real cool ways they could teach music now.
Of course.
You know, like even learning how to use Logic or build a beat in Fruity Loops or whatever is a more cool modern way that is not go in a classroom, pull out your manuscript, play Mary Had a Little Lamb on the recorder, and then what is this note? Turn to re mi. Come on,
how that go carry?
That is boring. And I look in all the window and I see people in the art room and metalwork room and the woodwork room and the girls cooking. And I mean, I wasn't really a trade kind of person, but music was just boring to me in school.
Something you say unlocked something for me too, because you're right. I could understand now where art it's just more practical. The music we're doing now not practical.
Yeah,
it's hard to apply because we remove the music and reduce it. Because okay, so mango vert, mango tea. That is vibes. I went Newtown Boys. And the first time I hear that, and they put with Newtown Girls, I have a solo to sing boy in Queen's Hall, right?
Yeah.
And we rehearse. And coincidentally, my music teacher in Newtown Boys was Arthur Di Coto's sister,
right.
Merle Di Coto. And she, of course, is real folk song and things. So we are Mango Fair, and I'm a solo to sing boy. But all the rehearsals we do, they never bring the Newtown Girls and them who's supposed to do walk around like they're selling the mango.
Right.
They know I can't sing.
Yeah.
When I see the thing walking, I say, all singing gone.
Yeah. As a little boy, you're intimidated.
Of course, you see girls for the first time, you know, boys' school. So a part of what you're saying about art is that actually drawing the landscape that is ours.
Yeah.
It's helpful, but in music, we don't draw the landscape that is ours.
The closest thing to that was when they introduced P.A.R.D.Y.
Yeah.
You know, and I mean, honest, I said it.
Yeah, they know
right?
P.A.R.D.Y.
I went to school late 90s, early 2000s. Right? So P.A.R.D.Y. wasn't cool. P.A.R.D.Y. was old people thing too.
Course.
So it's balancing the recorder and it's still P.A.R.D.Y.
Yeah.
And a manuscript.
Yeah, and they go lose you.
Come on.
Yeah.
As a child, the internet and thing now started coming. So the IT lab and thing was new. And it was fresh.
Right.
So I wanted to go and do IT. I wanted to go in the computer lab.
More current.
Yeah.
Oh,
so I did art. I didn't do IT for CXC because it was not available at the point in time.
Right.
Right? Or at least I couldn't get in. I chose art.
All right.
So I did art and stuff. And I wanted to do the cool subjects.
I'm with you.
You know?
It will be different. If you talk to the trend or what youth don't want to do something that's cool.
Yeah.
You know?
And it was appealing to me now, boy. So that was why I decided. So as I said, art, those things, drawing, painting, that was my form of expression at the point in time. Until I started picking up the computer and learn how to make beats.
So when you're making beats, when was the first time you reach one now? Because you say men was gassing you up. When you know you had something, you realizing that you're getting better.
I used to rap too. So when I started making beats,
right,
I was started to express my creative writing and I started writing songs. And as I said, growing up in the 2000s, the music of choice for the youths was hip-hop music. 50 Cent, Ja Rule, Eminem, Jay-Z.
So you start off as a hip-hop man?
A hip-hop man.
Serious?
I still love R&B and hip-hop to this day. You know, so I grew up on that. And then it was the other side was like real conscious music. It was Capleton, Sizzler and thing. And then it started to turn down. So Elephant Man, Beanie Man, that kind of thing. But I wasn't really into singing that. I used to go party and sing here to dance to that kind of thing. But for me personally, it was easier to get a hip-hop CD or a hip-hop tape.
Right.
You know, the only dance I used to get was when Dr. and them do the Dub 7 and Dub 6 and Music 3000. And all
remember that, boy?
All. Yeah.
I wanted music.
Bro, I was a music man, bro. I had real cassettes and real CDs. I still have a CD case home.
Right.
With real burn CD too. So I used to download my music. That time downloading music was a new thing. LimeWire, Napster, Bearshare, all them kind of thing. I was on all of them thing early. Right. So I get real virus and thing.
Yeah, it's a computer virus, just in case.
Computer virus. Spend a whole day to download a song. And it's the wrong thing.
What I mean if it's the wrong thing? Man used to label, you know who would do that?
It's a real chain up here.
You remember when Soulja Boy used to label everything wrong?
Yeah.
He used to put it as popular music. When you download it as Soulja Boy.
Yeah, that was saying. I download real fake thing.
Of course. That's the era.
That was the era that. So I grew up in when there was ushering, that downloading music, peer-to-peer, all that kind of stuff. But when the internet was new.
Right.
You know, so I was one of them early people who was real involved in that. And that was cool to me.
Of course, yeah.
You understand?
So stick with what is cool.
So I just find all the cool things that was cool to me and apply it in one, which is the computer, the technology, the music expression, the art, drawing, painting, and I found a way to bring all those things together. So I started to write my own music, sing my own music, make my own beats, and I mean, I did a short Photoshop course when I left school. So I had some kind of skills in doing like graphic design. So I kind of did that and was doing a little promo artwork for myself and thing.
But the nice thing is, you know what you want to see.
But that was fun. That was just fun. I wasn't doing that to sell. I wasn't doing that to become an artist or anything. I was just expressing myself now. You know, and I think that really shaped the way for where I am now. Because as I was saying earlier, like when I do a song, I not just doing the song. Like I'm involved in the writing of the song, the building the beat, the mix, the master, the artwork, the music video. I operated like a label, a one-man label.
But I guess you start off there in a way, because if you start by building your beats, then you put a flow to it and all that. So that, I mean...
And recording myself. I learned to record myself. I download Cool Edit Pro.
So how you recording then, boy?
I had a computer mic.
Remember?
A white computer mic thing. I had it on a shelf. And I had a candle or some balancing it when it fall. Boy, and I was there with my headphone on. I have a picture.
Yeah, you must send it.
I'll send it.
Yeah, must send
I'll
it.
try to look fit on a digital camera.
They don't even know. They ain't going to understand it.
Look at the real all on this episode.
Yeah, I like that. Join me. But when you're doing that and you're flowing for yourself and stuff, you're exposed to the rap world, because you talk about a time where, plenty of people rapping there.
Yeah. As I said, that was the zest of the dancehall of my time. And then it was accessibility. When you go to a CD store, just CDs and them kind of place. You understand? It was either doing rock, pop, or hip hop.
Yeah, for sure.
It didn't really have dancehall albums. No. It was more DJs who like Dr. Hyde and them who doing the little mixtapes on cassettes.
Dr. Hyde, Papa Rocky, Chinese Laundry, Downtown Outlaws. It used to be them.
Correct. Right? And again, I'm singing Maxi.
Yeah, of course.
When they're going in Maxi, that's what they're playing.
Earthquake and thing around.
Correct.
It was different. Yeah, you're right.
Where I from, there was for Checkers.
Yeah, you remember?
And Jugglers.
You bringing back more memories than men.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jugglers was all that.
I used to travel to go to school. Yeah. When they go to St. James's, everybody cool hard pong Maxi.
You gotta wait for them.
Come on. That was the era I grew up on.
Yeah.
So I woken up to St. James and waiting for certain Maxi and thing.
Yeah.
Because that is where the vibes is.
Of course.
And sometimes the Maxi and them pulling up outside the school and waiting until the school ring.
Yeah, of course.
So you didn't have to go far.
Yeah.
But that was the vibes now, boy. Right. So I as a teenager, I was just always in the vibes.
Yeah.
I always wanted to be with what was cool.
What happened?
You know, and I never really strayed into no badness and thing, you know. I was always a straight and narrow guy, but always fun. Always wherever the fun is. Yeah, no. And if I realize it kind of getting shaky, I just with some medal and thing.
Yeah, it's always getting scared.
My parents grew me up real good. So my moral compass was always magnetic north now.
Yeah, you know when you see trouble, it's still.
Yeah. When I realize I don't smoke and thing, you know. But I don't condemn people who do.
Of course.
It's just at the point in time that never appealed to me.
That's not your thing.
You know, so I was very sure about myself.
Right.
I was sure about what I liked. I was sure about what I didn't like. And I was sure what I wanted to do.
But when you say what you wanted to do,
I wanted to be creative.
So you're not seeing yourself then as producer or this or that. You just know you want to be creative.
When I left school, I wanted to be an artist. I wanted to be a graphic designer.
Oh, okay, got you.
Because I felt like that was my form of expression that brought me the most happiness at the point in time. You know, when I left school, I got a 2 in art. I didn't do IT for CXC.
Right.
But when I left school, I needed to do something. And Sam's was offering IT degree.
Right.
And it had multimedia in it. Right? And that was the X factor for me. Because you was offering it too, but didn't have multimedia in it. And I felt like if I could get IT and some kind of graphic multimedia kind of thing in it, I'll go there now. So I went there and it didn't have enough people to do the course.
That's a drop the course. Yeah. Sam's was famous for that. Let me put that on.
So I get the chain up. But in all fairness, I still was doing something that I wanted.
Right.
Because as I said, I would have joined Sam's in 2004, around there. Right? And that was early internet days.
Yeah, very
That was early technology.
No social media.
Yeah, so it was a world that was new. you know, and I was real intrigued by IT and stuff. So I did my degree in computer and information systems.
Okay, nice.
Graduated with first class.
Congrats.
And then I started working in the Ministry of Education, well, tertiary education at a point in time.
Doing IT too?
Doing IT.
I see.
Yeah, so I worked there for 11 years.
Yeah. So all then you're still trying with music? You're
still doing
it? Yeah.
So I was doing, as I said, I was still DJing and stuff, and then still building my beats, and then
who won the hip-hop scene then with you? Who because
right, so at the point in time, it was just partners, you know, like neighbors and things. Everybody wanted to rap.
Yeah,
everybody wanted to be out. That was the cool thing to do. So we used to make beats and record, and sometimes I record in late in the night and I'd wake up early to go to work. So I go and sleep 2 o'clock. I'd wake up 6 to go to work. You know,
making it
every day. And I happy and I glad, I real happy. And I burning it on a CD, playing it in my car. Them time I know my little put and thing. And I drive into work and I playing my CD player. And I playing my own songs in my car and I real happy.
Not bad.
You understand? That brought me joy. And then I go to work and be like, hey, little girls and things, listen to my song. Come on.
You're getting good feedback then? People realize you have something?
Gas like that. It's real gas. And I taking it.
Why not?
My tank on E, full up. You know, so I taken all the gas I could get at the point in time. But I think like the gas eventually turned to premium. Because here we are now.
Yeah, boy, imagine
you know what I mean?
Boy.
Yeah,
you ever thought that then? Man?
Never.
No.
Until 2010 is when I said, you know what? I want to take this a little more serious.
Right.
And I decided to convert my bedroom into the studio where it is now. Sure. You know, where my studio is now is where I grew up as a child.
I see.
Yeah, and I moved into a back room, a guest room. Yeah, I know guests coming. I went and see them.
The guest now is the biggest artist in the history of Trinidad and Tobago become the guest.
Yeah, I live in the guest room and the studio is my old childhood bedroom.
Understand.
Yeah.
Understand.
And I made the renovations from 2010 to now. Seriously. So I would slowly but surely start like, I'd buy a computer, I'd buy a Mac. I bought the speakers, the mic stand, a couch, the padding for the wall, did the flooring, did the ceiling.
So all this time, even those things you're self-taught because you had to figure out how to deal with sound and all that?
Well, the internet started to become a little more helpful.
Right.
So YouTube really helped, and then I would ask a lot of questions.
Sure.
And then in between that, I did the course in Star Broadcasting.
Okay,
this could have been like 7-10 years after.
Okay,
but in between that, I was just buying what I could afford. I just look for Google and see what's the best mic for 500 US or 300 US. Because I was working. So I used to save my money, and if I had a 3000 TT, I was going to buy a mic. You know,
this song is surreal to me, you know, because most people who tell stories like these have the benefit of a father who was a musician or a mother who had a studio or somebody who used to play. So you're just figuring out all this on
everything,
one.
So
what are your parents saying at this time? They supportive? They understand?
Well, I still live with my mom. My mom lives with me, and she was always supportive. But once I'm not getting in trouble or trouble not coming to us, you know, she was very much. And once I'm not making that old noise, even though we making music,
there's noise.
You know, it not real loud where disturbing her life now.
Yeah, gotcha.
You know, and then she knows her son doing something positive. You know, the biggest concern she had is when I decided to leave my job.
I would imagine.
Yeah. Because my parents sent me to school, I had my degree, and I work 11 years in ministry. I left.
So 10 years.
I moved my way up from a trainee to a network specialist. I left Ministry of Education as a network specialist. You know,
so be worried.
Yeah. So I was living 2 lives. I had my IT career and I was doing music part-time because that was my passion. It was an expensive hobby.
Of course.
But I was getting my salary and buying equipment. So from 2007 to 2018, that's 11 years, right?
20,
Right. That's the duration of time I would have spent to buy all my equipment and convert the bedroom into studio.
But at what point they left the ministry? 2018?
2018, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Republic Day 2018.
Oh, yeah.
Very, very, very poetic day.
Imagine that.
Yeah. Republic Day was my last day in my contract.
Wow.
And they actually offered me a next contract and I refused it because I was on short-term contract for very long. And with short-term contract, I had no benefits. You know, I had no vacation, I had no sick days, I had nothing.
But they make it easy for you to leave.
Yeah. I realized this wasn't for me. I fighting up for the bare minimum. I mean, the salary was good, but I wasn't happy.
But between 2010 and 2018, because you say you're a hip-hop man, but the first time I hear explicit is to do with Soca Parang. The Soca Parang came in as early as 2010 and thing. When that started?
The first Soca Parang, I was having fun, bro.
That was the first. That was 2012. I see.
2012 would have been when I met. Well, I shouldn't even say met. When I started to work with P.A.R.D.Y, P.A.R.D.Y.
I see.
Right.
But them is hip hop men too.
And Eddie Heights. When I was working in ministry, Young Rod, Isaac, J.Verda's son,
of course,
was a trainee there. So that's when I met Isaac. And we started to lime. So I used to go home by him, and Rod wanted to be a rapper.
Yeah, I was rapping then.
Right, he was rapping.
Like,
and
Marcus used to have this cassette thing, you remember?
He still does. Yeah. He still does. And I'm making hip-hop beats, and you doing rapping. You are a rapper or want to be a rapper.
You got a line.
It was a friendship that was easy.
Sure.
And then on top of that, Marcus was now starting to really explore his artistry.
Right.
And he was doing all kind of genres. He still does.
Right.
You know, and he from P.A.R.D.Y Valley, I from Diego Martin, Rod live in P.A.R.D.Y Valley. We had a lot of mutual friends. And he came at me to do something for individual, Keegan Simon. Right? That promo thing.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, I need a studio boy, I need to record this. And he came. And from then we started to develop a proper working relationship now. You know, and then as I said, Rod was around me at the point in time, and I just made the connection for two of them. And I was like,
serious?
Yeah. I was like, hey, well, Hardy, you doing this? Rod, you doing this? I'm making beats. Hey, let me do something together now. And that's when we started to work. And this will be 2012 around there.
Right.
And then Christmas time, your boy making beats. I was like, I want to make a parang. So
where that come from?
Right. So
I expected to meet a man who come from a parang family.
No, as I say, my parents was regular people, regular people.
Yeah.
My mother, he saw me painting fence and door and gate and washing
down
yard and wiping the window. I grew up doing all of that.
Right.
Very humble beginnings. Right. To this day, my mother would still ask me to go and clean something.
Sure.
You know, because she need help, and I will do it.
Of course.
Because that's the relationship. That's mommy. You know, so but when you're doing them things, it's parang playing. The radio on, it's Sweet 100, 105, them kind of thing playing. And to me, that added to the vibe of Christmas now. So I grew up in a household where playing the radio was very normal.
Right.
You know, so on a Sunday, is gospel music playing on the radio. Carnival time is soca playing on the radio. Christmas time is parang playing on the radio. And a typical Trinidad household.
Yeah.
So if bread baking and ham baking and thing and painting, music playing.
Of course.
And his parang music was playing at the point in time. So it was just a December or September to December. I was home and music was playing, and I was like, I just want to be creative and challenge myself. I want to make a parang song or a Christmas song.
Sure.
You know? And the people around at the time was P.A.R.D.Y, Young Rod, Steph Kalu. Like, these kind of people was around because they were now getting into the music as well.
Right.
I chained them up. I was like, hey, let's have a session and let's vibes. And the beat was horrible. It even sung like a parang. But
you do it.
One thing I actually figured out now is that from small to now, I was doing what I like. I was doing what make me happy now. And at the point in time, that made me happy to do it. I was just so excited. Hey, we doing this, we doing that. So much so we all pitch up and shoot a music video.
For the same parang.
A medley, bro. A 7-minute medley of a kicks.
I like it.
I shoot a music video.
I like it.
So that just showing them like I'm the kind of person when I go in all in, bro. I'm not going, I'm not half stepping at all.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed that. And that experience really made me gain confidence in myself. And I was like, if I really try to do this properly and get a quattro man and get a guitar man and get a bass man and thing, I could probably do this, you know. Because I can't play no instrument. I mean, I didn't grow up in a musical household. I grew up on a hip-hop. So hip-hop was very programmed and samples and thing. You know, remember quattro and thing. I didn't even have a quattro. So I went and bought a quattro.
Serious?
Yeah. I went and bought a quattro. I say, but if it is, I don't know anybody with one, I will have one. I still can play it. I can play 1 or 2 chords now. But to say I could stand up and run through, I know about 3 chords and I'm bad.
But
I know about 3 chords. But strumming a little off. But I have a quattro for the studio. I electric one too. So
nice.
Spend more money.
Yeah, I know no joke money. You know?
So it was an investment for me to, at the time, to learn it.
Of course.
Which went out the door. But it became, when Keegs and them come, they could play quattro on their own song.
Well, I was about to say that learning it mightn't just be playing it, eh?
Yeah. So it was an investment for me now. So I did that, and I have a few guitar players, friends, and I called them over and I was like, yeah, I want to do an actual song and parang rhythm.
Right.
And at the point in time, Rome had now started to do music. But he didn't really want to do parang either.
But this time you know Rome and thing already?
No.
You don't know
Marcus Hardy introduced me because they're CIC men. So he was like, hey, my partner want to do parang and we want to do something, music. And he introduced me to Rome. I didn't know Rome at all. And Rome grew up in Malabar. People think Rome born with a gold spoon in his mouth, but Rome grew up in humble beginnings too.
Trinidad things was your light skin, you had it, yes, 1%.
Correct, exactly. So, no one people tell me that. They be like, boy, you grew up in Westmoreland. I was like, you went to Anthony.
Oh, yeah, the West is
yeah, you grew in Fatima. I'm like, bro, I went to St. James, like I went to Mukarapa, boys. You know, so I just let everybody know that it's real humble beginnings with me.
Sure.
And I met Rome. So when I met Rome through Marcus, I had this new rhythm. And that's when we did Liquor. That was the naughty or nice rhythm.
Right.
And seeing Marcus and Rod and everybody jump on it because that was the people accessible to me at the point in time.
Right.
I didn't really try to do no bar run or nobody. I was just like, I helping my friends and whoever are wrong and willing to go on the train, we going. And the bus went full steam ahead.
Boy.
And Liquor became a thing, and Rome became a thing.
That's your first time really hearing your song on radio and all them thing? Or
nah, the first one played on radio too.
Oh, it was playing?
Yeah,
okay,
Explicit Christmas radio.
I see.
Yeah, that play on radio and thing. To this day, Rod's song is still play. And Hardy and Stick the Clove in the Ham. Because honestly and truly, it was a real cool double meaning song. And it was original.
Yeah.
Nobody ever sing no Clove in the Ham.
Of course, yeah. Unique. How mommy feeling at that time when she hear?
My mother loved Christmas. So I think, honestly, I think Christmas is my favorite time of the year. Over Carnival.
Yeah.
And I born in Carnival. My birthday is February 17th.
You know when is my birthday?
February something too.
17th.
You lie.
All right, check it.
Corie Sheppard. Your birthday is February 17th?
Same day as Michael Jordan and Mevon Soodeen.
You see? February 17th.
Imagine that. Yeah. I born a Carnival Sunday morning.
I born a Carnival Tuesday.
Look at that.
So I born in it.
Yeah, boy. And but Christmas is...
But I love Christmas, boy. Christmas is just give me a different feeling now, boy. I feel like Christmas is family, is a very... I'm a Catholic too.
Right.
You know, so Christmas has a deeper significance. I'm not saying I'm the most religious person, but growing up as a Catholic in a Catholic household, Christmas time was important.
Yeah.
You know, so I love the spirit of Christmas. I love the spirit of Carnival too.
Sure.
But I feel like Christmas is more when like the countries actually like families come together.
Yeah, it's a difference. It's feeling.
Yeah, the countries feel a little different for Christmas now. And it's not just Christians, it's a country.
No, it's a very, very Trinbagonian thing.
Yeah.
Because the more you talk to people, you must ask them about the religion. You see, the religions we come from, they really shape the culture a lot. Like, there's somewhat double something in the beginning, but the religion, the food, the music, all that's part of... It's quite... Look how you saying you're Catholic, but you're saying that your music start from Hussein.
Yeah.
You know, when you think about them things, we live in peaceful with things that cause other countries to be at war.
Some of my best friends in school was Muslim boys. Of
course.
In school.
Yeah, of course.
They were Muslim. And because of that... As I said, is Tassa and Hussein. And they kind of exposed me to that. I didn't know nothing about Hussein and things.
But what I like what you're saying is that you keep going back to this is inspiring, to be honest. When you say but I was just doing what I like.
Yeah.
And that
and at the point in time, it wasn't a conscious decision. It was not conscious. It's just no, I just saying.
Yeah.
I was always the kind of person to just do what I like.
Of course.
And follow that.
So from then, you and Rome inseparable because they create a legacy over the next maybe 10 years.
Oh, even that, nobody had that on the cards.
Serious.
Rome wanted to do soca.
Really?
Yeah.
So he just tried it,
he just tried it, and once again the vibe was right, and then same energies. When Rome and I met, we realized we real similar.
Right.
Very soulfish, very easy, friendly, easygoing, and it was just a real easy friendship. You know that I mean working relationship and friendship in one.
Understand.
And he's the kind of person too. He just like me. If we realize something working, we just gonna be the iron when it's hot and do it, and then we perfected the craft, and then we eventually bounce up on Annie.
Yeah,
you know.
So Annie is really the breakout.
My mother was responsible for that song, you know.
Is it? Is it so?
So my mom loves Pone. That's her favorite Trini delicacy. She loves cassava Pone. Right. And when I was working in the ministry, there was a lady who used to walk around selling sugar cake, red mango, Pone and sweetbread and thing. And there was a point in time I was like, I need to get a piece of Pone for my mom. I was kind of too. And I was like, what's the lady name, boy? And I couldn't remember the name. And jokingly, I was like, it'd be real funny if her name was Annie. And my partner was like, Annie? I was like, Pone Annie. And it was like, hey, not real bad. Gas up again, I take it.
Yeah, accepting all gas.
All gas. Tank always on E. Yeah, so I take the gas up again. And we was working on this project. And I sent Rome a voice note earlier morning. I was like, Rome, if I'm not mistaken, I think I have it on my phone still. I'll check.
Yeah, you must keep that.
Yeah. I don't throw nothing.
Yeah, good. I like that. I
don't throw nothing. And Rome was like, boy, Mevon, my mother will kill me. Hell no, I'm going to sing that song. But anyway, I came in the studio. I said, boy, let me try it now, boy. Let me vibe it. So we started vibe.
So at that time, you just had the phone and
I said the beat.
Okay. So you build the beat already?
Yeah, I tell you, at that point in time, I had the quattro. I'm a guitar partner. So I was building little parang beats. So Christmas time coming around, I would build a parang beat and put it down. And as I said, this Annie was 2016 or 17 around there.
Oh, is it?
So I started working in Rome in 2013. So 4 years, I would have learned how to build the parang beats, but the soca parang at this. Right. So I had the beat. And I was like, let me vibe this one now, boy. So we vibe when it's time we writing and we coming up with ideas and things. And then the more we started doing it, Rome was like, boy, I can't do the song. Boy. He's like, my mother go kill me. If I sing the song, my mother go be real upsetting because he grew up a staunch Catholic too.
I see.
You know, in a real Catholic house. And he's like, I can't sing this boy. And my mother kind of like me. I kind of have a personality, very vibesy and the kind of thing. So the studio is home. Right. So she passed and like, all you not doing the Pone song again?
Oh, she like it.
And then she was like, yeah, that was singing good. And Rome was like, Auntie, you serious? She's like, yeah, that was singing nice. And he was like, all right, well, if Auntie like it, boy, let me go through. And we went through. And that's Rome's biggest song.
Yeah, well, classic. In soca parang and things, it's plenty classics over the years, but that definitely is one. Yeah. Like I keep talking to people about, okay, so when you listen to Pone and the double entendre, for me as somebody at 40-something, it's not double in it, it's direct. But I always wonder, and I was asking Keegs, I said, Keegs, my ears getting old, because when I hear Pone and I say, Jesus Christ, I can't. Because from house parang, it's a certain thing I wouldn't go in a person house and sing because especially because, like, you're from the West, so part of Parang is Paramin, Cameron Hill and thing.
My dad from Marval, eh?
All right, well, good. You understand.
Initially, my dad grew up in Marval.
Yeah.
So I have Coco Payol.
Of course.
Blood now, boy.
Okay,
you know?
Understand to see where he come from, too.
Well, he not in that.
But he blend into it. He from the area. He from the area.
If you look deep down, you probably already find
maybe. But, you know, the house Parang thing, it's a certain things, including, like, so Keegs was using the example of Kenny. I want my brush and them thing, which I always knew was double entendre. But Keegs had mentioned a song when he was here. If I ain't come
by
if I ain't come, that's Baron.
If I come.
And until Keek say that, it's only then I say, so shit if I ain't come. It's true.
Yeah.
But so that answer my question to her.
Yeah.
Because I always want to talk to you or Rome about that song because I'm saying, boy, are we overstepping the line?
Yeah.
But the truth is that I don't know if we are.
You know what's the funny thing? Somebody came up to me, could be about 2-3 years ago, and he was like, you know, I only realized what Punani was saying. A big person.
Yeah.
It was like, I did not know.
Well, just like us with Kenny G.
Because remember, we grew up in dancehall. So a lot of old people don't know really Punani, you know. They don't know that, you know.
I didn't think of that. You're right.
That word is not a word that in their
we don't really
orbit.
Say that here.
Yeah, it's not resonating with them.
With you.
So the 30s and under, I would say, at the point in time, that's a word we will know.
Right.
But old people really say Punani and things like that.
Yeah, it's not something you say.
Yeah.
It's not part of our normal vernacular.
It's not. So they was like, you know, when you just realize what is all this
I like that.
there,
I like that.
And I was like, hey, well, that's good. Because in
all
our mind, it was wrong.
Well, you say explicit, I like that you give the definition of explicit.
Yeah,
of what it is.
of
because, like that same thing I was talking about Kenny. One of these things I was saying is that Kenny Phillips, I saw a friend of mine post something saying, music gone from singing Sandra Die With My Dignity to Lady Lava Up and a Down. You saw it? No, everybody entitled to their own opinion, right? But I don't like that statement too much because
I don't like it either.
Music is not a static thing.
It's not.
So one of the things I was playing in the episode today is that Kenny Phillips produced United Sisters, War Donkey.
Yeah.
And he also produced Watch Out My Children.
Yeah.
You have to let creators create.
Yeah.
Even if I don't like it, even if you do something and I say, boy, I ain't so sure about it. Well, no, I know I could just gas you up right through, right? I don't want to tell you I don't like nothing. But if you don't like it, that's fine.
Yeah.
But don't stop a creator. Yeah. I don't believe in it.
Well, that's the thing. Like for me, when it comes to creating, it have songs I don't like, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It have songs I will do and I don't like. Classic example was Come Home.
Yeah.
I didn't like Come Home.
Really?
No. I didn't like Come Home. I didn't think Come Home would be what it is to this day.
So what's your approach with things like that then? When somebody approach you with that
I
concept?
realize that when I hate a song, it's be good.
Yeah. No,
Because most of my songs I don't like is be big songs.
Serious?
Most.
But so how you get yourself in the mental space to work on it even though you ain't like it?
No. So like what would happen? Well, I'm gonna jump to Come Home. But
You hear?
most of the times we create the beat and we like the beat. And then we send it to a writer or the artist comes up with an idea and brings a different energy to the song now.
Right.
And for me, that's not necessarily, remember me, I am
you see in the
seeing
end.
the end. So this is not the road I...
So what you had in mind?
I didn't mind the demo, you know.
Mm-hmm.
The demo wasn't bad.
Right.
The problem was, I don't want to say the problem was,
Yeah.
the song was written for Machel and Destra.
Right.
And they turned it down. Then we tried Kess and Patrice. They turned it down.
Yeah.
We tried Lyrical and Patrice. Lyrical turned it down. We tried everybody. And we ended up was working with Nailah on another song. And we just happened to play it for Nailah. It was something in the water. Me, Kit, and Kyle went my aunts in the studio to play that for them. And when we finished, we was like, hey, you want to hear this demo that we have? Hey, play it. And they like it from jump. But it was Nailah alone at the point in time. Nailah sang the whole song by herself, the whole song.
So just for
to this day,
Kit Israel and which Kyle?
Phillips.
Yeah.
So we did that during COVID.
Right.
So Kit and I would have been talking and then that song was written to pitch the fan.
Serious?
He was like, I want to do a kind of pop R&B style song for Fayan. So Kit had sent me the dun 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 dun, the chords. And he's like, well, use the P.A.R.D.Y, man. You do Ladana. That time I know P.A.R.D.Y hits, eh?
Really?
But he was like, you more culture. Kit is a groovy man. Kit like slow groovy thing, but anything is anything with me now.
Fun.
Yeah, I having fun. I vibes in.
Right.
So I was like, send it to me. I go challenge myself. And I started working on the drums and whatever and started send him back. Then Kit send back the idea. It was just mumbles. It was really making sense. So he put it down. And I was like, I don't know where to go with this again. And he's like, let me send Kyle now. All them time we playing game, we playing Warzone online. I was never a gamer, by the way. COVID turned me into a gamer.
Home.
Yeah. So at home, but everybody else was playing game. I had no friends.
The outlet.
I like with my friends. I had a line with my friends.
Yeah.
And it just so turned out that the game Warzone was where Warzone was the golf course for us. That's where the deals was cutting. And in that little chat is where men will be like, Nailah looking for something. I was looking for something. Nadia looking for something. Then they send me this, send me that, send me that. And when we come off the game, it's work. So that's how Come Home started. Kid sent it to me. I sent it to Kyle. Kyle sent it to Jeffers. Jeffers finished writing the song with Kit melodies.
Oh, that's Jeffers too?
Yeah. Jeffers took Kit's gibberish and put words on a story to it.
Yeah, I see him this morning. And one of the things I always say when I talk to him or see him is that nobody will ever understand who writes in these songs.
Never.
Yeah, I hope he comes. He said he'll come.
Yeah.
But
Jeffers have a real interesting story too.
I would imagine.
Because he's heavy corporate.
Yeah. Of course, very, very corporate. Yeah. That's the other day I see him in a short pants and a jersey. I make him out when I see him back in his jacket.
Yeah. So that's how that song came about. So when it says we did the beat, I didn't really remember it's Fiona had in my mind. And then we said, when Jeffers had his song, it was like a song like a Machel and Desha kind of vibes. After COVID, come up with a Machel and Desha problems. So that was the vision. I done gassing up again. Yeah. I taking it. Yeah, Machel and Desha. And it just slowly started to fail until we bounced up Nailah. And I said, Nailah did it, the whole song by herself. And it was missing that balance. It was kind of written to always be a duet.
Right,
you know, so when we had nobody, I started to lose hope and interest now. And then Skinny came on it, and by the time it came out,
how it came out to Skinny?
Answer and they reached out to
I
them.
see.
And he did it one time.
Yeah.
By the point in time, I was so over it. You know, it's not like I didn't like the song. I just didn't think it was going to be Come Home.
Yeah. You see how that get momentum? That just started building and building.
Bro, that song still plays just like It's Carnival is now.
Yeah.
I think that is like the modern It's Carnival for this generation.
Forever.
Yeah, it's one of those songs.
Yeah, for sure.
And it was just because we had this goal in mind and then shift the goalpost to here. And
yeah, that's the thing with creators. You don't understand. You might be seeing the end point, but the boy, you know where it is.
Yeah.
And the thing about it, like I remember that year in particular, the road march race was tight. I can't remember who else or who would I end up winning the road march.
At Fett.
Oh yeah, that would be hard to stop. But the thing about it is, you do not have Fett too?
Nah.
Okay.
That was DJ Avalanche.
All right, just making sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I saw the performances when two of them were performing together for Carnival.
Which was everywhere.
And building. Like every time you see the response to the song.
Yeah. To this day.
Yeah.
To this day, Trinidad was playing the Unity Cup in London. Outside the stadium, somebody sent me a video. They were singing, they're singing P.A.R.D.Y.
Oh.
But anytime Caribbean people come together, it's Come Home is the song they sing.
I saw it in something in New York.
In New York, outside.
Yeah, outside.
It was the Cash show.
It was the Cash show. And
it was crazy. In the road.
Like a national anthem.
Yes. And this is not Trinis, this is Caribbean people.
Just like Machel and Desha. It's almost
it's
take a different route, but it take a different route, but it end up right where you wanted it to end up.
Correct.
And I think that's one of the songs that will continue to build and build and build. But when Keegs come here, Keegs say, boy, he put it on Facebook and people tell him, Mevon is the man to go.
Dennett, big up Dennett.
Yeah,
big up Dennett.
So the thing about it is after Ponani, before you get into that, because I had no idea that Come Home would be your first power soaker.
Yeah.
I think any experimenting with that a long time by the time it gets to that.
Well, it was the first power soaker that I released.
I see.
But I was making power soaker beats.
Oh, yeah, you doing it?
Yeah.
So where it went, was it just you and Rome working on it? How you get to be known as P.A.R.D.Y? So is it radio when you just keep hearing explicit?
Yeah.
So when it is just hearing explicit, no matter what P.A.R.D.Y play.
That's the thing with me. As I said, when I realize something working, I am inspired. I stick the gas up.
Yeah.
I stick the gas up. You know? So I realize it working and I enjoying it. You know, so if I find joy in what I'm doing and it making me money, why not?
Yeah, that's all.
You know, and on top of that, the working relationship with Rome is cool. You know, it's an easy environment to work with, easy person. We're on the same page most times. And even if we fall out and thing is a mature falling out,
gotcha.
It's like we agree to disagree.
Right, yeah.
And we move forward now. So we just started to work. And but Rome didn't really want to do parang.
Yeah,
he wanted to do soca. He still wants to be a soca artist.
That's good.
You know, so we try the soca here and there. We still have a session with Rome tonight.
Oh, nice.
You know, so we still try. You know, because that's his passion. That's where you really want to be. So I just was working with Rome and then Keegs. That time my studio was now I was not trying to open up the space to people I don't know. Because I don't know Keegan from nowhere.
Oh, sorry.
You understand? But I know Dennett.
Right.
And Dennett would have recommended me to Keegan. And I was like, okay, well, if Dennett say thing, he had to be a cool fella.
Yeah.
And Dennett had vouched for him because I don't know Keegan. I know he is.
Of course.
Total stranger coming in my house. I was like, cool. But when I met Keegan, it was an easy thing too because Keegan is real cool people.
Yeah,
we connect. We connect on many things. He's played games, football, music.
Being good at all in football.
Yeah. You know, so it was an easy connection as well too. So I started to divert away from just working with Rome to working with everybody.
Yeah.
I sung with Marion B, I think with Rome, I think with Keegs, I have a Fisher Brong, like all the young, like I will key, like I started to make a conscious decision. I wanted to work with the upcoming.
Okay.
So you say, Kenny have like the old school and he was responsible for our generation.
Yeah.
I said to myself, I want to be responsible for a lot of the younger people first hits.
Yeah.
So the Keegs and the Romes and the Fisher Brongs and the younger generation of P.A.R.D.Y people, I said, I want to work with them because I want to be responsible for their careers now. I'm not saying I have to work with them right through. But
I understand.
I had a responsibility because I was a leader in new school in P.A.R.D.Y. There's no young soca P.A.R.D.Y producers.
Not just that, it's a real big gap, Mevon.
Exactly.
When you look
it's either you're hearing
that's it.
Baron and Scrunter, and then it's Rome.
Well, think about it. You hear from radio. But when you think about it, from Ironman,
traditional
P.A.R.D.Y.
Yeah.
And all the songs we play, and I can tell you now, is real old songs.
The same
70s,
thing,
80s, it's the
same
same
all the
thing.
time.
So I was refreshed. You know, it's when you hear somebody, I always wondered if it was deliberate. Because you start hearing a bunch of people now, and all of a sudden, Eddie, you just have a whole crew, man.
I'd reach out to Eddie to jump on one of my rhythms and thing, but at the point in time, he was at 18 strong.
All right, yeah.
And the timing just didn't work out.
Yeah.
So
no, but that would be great.
Yeah.
That would be great.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So
a good transition.
I am very, very knowledgeable when it comes to the players in the game. So if I do in P.A.R.D.Y, I want to work with Scrunter, I want to work with Marcia Miranda, I want to work with Baron and everybody. Actually, that was one of the things that we had planned, Rome and I. We wanted to do something called a Legends album.
Oh, sweet.
Where Rome was working with a Roman Marcia, a Roman Baron, a Roman Scrunter.
I understand.
Before they die, because
of course.
Kenny G.
Kenny
so
J.
mix them up.
G.
G.
One out of the two.
Yeah.
When you edit it, you make it sound like you had no
Kenny G. Yeah, so Kenny G was a close friend of Rome and by myself. You know, so when he passed, that was a big...
It's a blow.
Yeah, that was a blow now.
Yeah,
so we felt like we running out of time. You know, and we want to give these people... I don't know if you've ever been to any Rome concerts.
No.
The P.A.R.D.Y Rome.
No.
Every year he's give a lifetime achievement award to the legends.
Yeah.
So he gives Scrunter, he actually gave Kenny G, he gave Marcia.
Yeah.
You know, so he give them the flowers now.
Yeah.
Before they pass on, because we know that they don't have a lot of time with us anymore now. So even though we're doing this modern version of P.A.R.D.Y, we never take it for granted the contribution or the road that they would have paved for us.
Well, I want to say that it could almost as somebody who will play both. I find I feel it, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, again, I'm going back to the reference P.A.R.D.Y. When I heard P.A.R.D.Y the first time,
I have a story to it.
I would imagine. My first thought is it was the familiarity.
Yeah.
I say somebody here not guessing.
Yeah.
I said, this is not guesswork.
Yeah.
So that's when I came back and recorded there, and I said, no, I had to put these things together because these chords is nobody not guessing.
Yeah.
So when, I hear a lot of that with the P.A.R.D.Y. Like, there's one particular song you had done with Keegs with, things you go bring out the ham. I was in this P.A.R.D.Y. band.
Yeah.
When I hear that, I say, Keegs, there's it, you know?
Yeah.
Because it's so reminiscent of things that men do. It's very modern.
Yeah.
But it grounded.
Yeah.
So I appreciate the fact that you're working with the youth and things. Because if we don't have nobody who will do that, you got a problem, boy.
Yeah. I think, as I said, for me, being a creative, I'm a kind of hybrid because I'm not just a creative brain. I'm very structured and organized because of my corporate involvement.
I suppose you spend a long time.
So I'm very, very on time, as you can see today. I don't play with timing and things that way. I do communication. If I can't make it, I'll let you know.
Right,
if I'm running late, I'll let you know.
With you.
If it's at time, I will be there on time.
Not common in the music industry.
I would message you and say on my way to let you know. That's how I am.
Right.
And it's a kind of balance between being organized and being creative.
Well, like when you sent message to say you're on your way, I tell myself, all right, you're running late. That's what Trinidadians mean when they say they're on the way, but you say dead on time.
I was dead on time.
Of course.
So that is, for me, I try to be very strategic with a lot of the things I do. Right. So it's not by chance.
Yeah.
A lot of it is thought out.
Got you.
Yeah.
So by the time you're dominating, again, who say explicit boy? Who say that?
A random man on Fiverr.
Serious?
Yeah.
A Fiverr person?
During COVID, I was looking for a producer tag. And I was like, I went on Fiverr, pay a man $5 and he sent me back 20 versions. He asked me for details. He was like, where's my name? Where's my sobriquet? Where's do? Where I'm from? And he sent back a whole set of different things. And he just said, explicit boy. And I was like, damn, this sounds kind of cool. Serious? And I kept that one. Yeah.
$5.
If
$5, boy, cannot go wrong. That $5 making millions.
I know million. Yeah.
So even as you get known for that, your mind on what else you want to do other than Soca Parang, because to go into Power Soca, you
But that's the thing. Like as I said, I never wanted to be a parang person.
Sure.
That started off for vibes and meet and roam. Mm-hmm. We was good at it and there was a space to be filled.
Right.
There was a niche and we decided to dominate that.
So what was that space that you saw in Power Soca that make it so good?
It's not just about Power Soca. I was just doing soca. I was just, if you know me, I would make beats every day, whole day.
Serious.
I would just express myself through making beats. Mm-hmm. And once something inspired me, I was make hundreds of beats a year. You might hear 10 songs.
Yeah.
But I have 90 something that nobody heard. With experimenting with different tones, different styles, different hybrids and all these different things. Mm-hmm. So you hear in 10. But I make hundreds of beats.
Yeah, so that's
that nobody hear or nobody like.
That outlet critical for you. It seems like that's part of your being. You need to do that.
Yeah, of course. So when somebody asks me for beats, you can ask anybody in the industry. I've never asked you for. When you ask me for beats, you are getting 30 or 20 in your WhatsApp. And I know the kind of beats to send to different people.
Yeah, I always want to ask that. Like you're studying the artist basically. Then you understand.
Even when I approach writers to write songs, I'll be like, yeah, guys, we need to channel this vibe, even the key or the swing or the groove. Yes. You just kind of know an artist style and a sound. So if it's a Machel, or if it's a Bungie, or if it's a voice, it's minor chords and voice like that kind of vibe now, boy. Machel might happier, Patrice and Nadia, like a kind of Bajan swing, a kind of Island bounce. Yeah, I don't know them. So I send in beats that to me suits them. Yeah.
I understand.
So it's very calculated. Very calculated.
Yeah. That's why I say, when I hear P.A.R.D.Y, I say, all right, somebody has something.
Well, the thing about P.A.R.D.Y, I'll get into the story now. P.A.R.D.Y was, once again, just a beat.
Right.
I just had the beat.
For how long?
I started that beat in June 2024.
Oh, so that's new. Okay.
Yeah. And I had the beat totally done. And I sent, Jeffers came on me to do something else with Rome at the point in time when I was just playing beats after.
Yeah, two corporate men.
Yeah. So I play the beats and he's like, yeah, this one bad. So he's like, send it to me. I have a flight to catch. And I'll vibe it on the flight, wherever. So a few days passed, nothing happened. I send it to Machel. Machel say, wait boy, this bad boy, it have a kind of footsteps kind of energy.
Oh, you feel
that way he tell me. He says, have a kind of footsteps energy, boy. I like this. Send it to Corie and them, full blown.
Right.
See what they come up with. I send it to them. I say, Machel, see you like this. He says, send it to all you. To see if all they come up with something. They're now vibing something with Machel because they were in Machel in New York at the point in time.
Right.
But he said it wasn't anything significant now.
Right.
And a little while after, Jeffers came with his idea for P.A.R.D.Y. Wait, fast forward. In between that, my computer crashed.
Really?
Right? So Jeffers wanted to finish the demo that he had in his head. And he was like, bro, send me the files for P.A.R.D.Y. Wait. The committee didn't crash it. He was like, send me the files. I go down my Kyle.
Right.
I was like, nobody's asked for files to write a song.
Yeah.
Why you need my stems to finish write a demo?
Yeah.
He's like, well, I just want to cut out some parts, a bit of vibe and the intro kind of thing. And I said, you know what? Me and Jeff was good because Jeff was his room manager. So me and Jeff was real good. Yeah, Jeff was the manager room. So me and Jeff was real good. So thing, and then me and Kyle real good. Right. So I was like, you know what? I trust them. I'll send them my files. Right. The next day, my computer crashed. That was the last set of files I bounced before I lost everything. Because as backup files, that's done, or of projects that are ongoing.
Yeah. But things you're
no
working
matter,
on...
I'm making hundreds of beats.
Of course, yeah.
So if I'm making all these beats, I'm not going to back it up because it's nothing yet.
Yeah, working on
it's just a beat I build in at the point in time.
Files.
Yeah, it's working files. So I didn't back that up. But Jeff was asked me for these stems.
Imagine that.
And I just happened
most
to say,
of the times, the answers to that question could be no.
Yeah.
Because nobody, if it was stems.
Why you want my stems to write a song? You know, so I trust them. There's my friends. I send it to them. Computer crash, lost everything. Anyway, Jeff was sending back this demo. That time I have nothing. I in a little depression too. Because I said to myself, but my season done. My season done. All my potential projects lost. Right. Totally lost. I had nothing. I say, boy, what I gotta do, boy? So Jeff was sending this song and I say, boy, my season banking on this. I had to get this right. So he's sending back. I said, nah, boy, it's not, boy. Yeah. I said, Jeff, it's not your usual work, boy. I said,
the first draft you do, the first right.
I said, it's not your usual work, man. The chorus was there.
Okay.
We worked so hard, but it wasn't arranged in the order now. So I said, it's not your usual work, boy, Jeff was, boy. I was like, I was expecting something different because, you know me, I don't see it far down the road.
But you're also telling him, you let him know.
Dog, that's the thing with me. I would tell somebody if I don't like something, if something could change. And on the flip side, I try to be open to let people do the same with me.
Of course.
And criticize me. You know, once you're respectful. I don't ever try to be disrespectful, but I would say it as it is. I was like, Jeff was, boy, I don't think there's it, boy. Right. I said, let me try again. So that's when he asked me for the stems. Send it to him. So he come back and he sent back a revised version. I was like, okay, cool. This sound a little better. But let me put the hook on the top with just chords and build the emotion into the thing. And I say that by the truck song like Machel, boy. I say, only way we could get rid of the song is if Machel sing it. I say, and Machel like the beat. But he tell me it's song kind of footsteps vibes. So I say, well, let me try to do the demo like a Machel song and pitch it to him.
Right.
Well, he sent it to Machel.
So when he said do the demo, who laying the vocals to the demo?
A guy named...
Oh yes, get somebody to come in and do
Jeffers and Kyle have this person who did the demo.
Got you.
It's multiple different people because Jeffers can sing.
Yeah.
You know, so he got this guy named Keegan, I think is his name.
Okay,
Keegan
so
Haynes or something like that.
Right.
Yeah, he did the demo. And he kind of channeled our Machel energy. And we sent it to Machel. Again, no word. Because that time he had his 40th in Barclays.
I remember.
Yeah. And about a week or two after he messaged, but he called me. He said, Mevon, put this on ice.
Yeah.
He said, when I come back to Trinidad, we go deal with this. He said, he gave me a full thing. He said, I played for everybody. I played for Steven. I played for everybody in the band. He said, everybody like it, boy. He said, I think there's it.
He going to do it.
He said, I think there's it. Because I didn't really believe again too.
No.
I just find the song was good. But it was so different. With that kind of choir intro and thing, I was like, where's this way? Kind of weird. Yeah. I tell Jeff, I said, no, your best work.
Imagine that.
I said, once I tell you, your song lame, it's going to be big. I tell you, I'm a poor judge. Poor judge. So anyway, Machel said he believed in it. And then he came back and we had a meeting. And our videos are Machel is playing the song over and over, jumping up on the table, lifting up the chair. He was real in it. And I was like, wait, I started to believe at that point in time. I was like, this man is 50 years, he have real years on me.
He know.
If he know,
he know.
And he getting on like this, we probably really do have something. And I said, Kyle, I have no computer. I needed to be involved in this project for me. You need to save my career or save my season.
Right.
And that's how I roped Kyle into it because we would have just done the demo by Kyle. But Kyle is my friend too.
Right.
And I was like, boy, if we had to do this session, can't do it by me. Let Machel go down by you and let me come down by you now. Boy. I said, I don't on the computer. I need the help. I want you to be a part of this project. And he said, cool. So it was me, Jeffers, and Kyle. But me, Jeffers, and Kyle work on Come Home before.
Right.
So it was an easy...
I guess working
relationship was easy. So that was I had no problem with sharing that.
Yeah.
And Kyle pulled through.
I have a question for you about that sharing thing. Because I saw something online with somebody talking about when a producer produces a song, back in the day, you used to hear one man do everything. It was just that person responsible. Now in music, you find that several people touch it. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, I think that forms from the international scene. When it is you look at the Grammys and stuff, you look at, there's engineers, there's producers, there's writers, there's executive producers. And when you look at the writing credits for those big songs, it's all kind of teams of people. It's not one person. And this wasn't done by, it wasn't, like we tried to copy it.
Right.
I just feel like that's the way music collaboration has became easier through the internet and that kind of stuff. Now it's easy to just send a man files and he work on it, send it back, or we write something together, a man tweak something, send it back.
Yeah.
I think the advent of the internet and how the internet became so integral in the working space for us. It just made life easier to collaborate now. So I love it.
Yeah,
I love it. Because I feel like I would have never have a party without Jeffers and Kyle involvement.
I suppose.
Or Come Home.
Yeah. Yeah. Take Me Home.
What's
the story behind
that? As a collab with Kit too.
Right.
So Kit had a session with Freetown and he's like, Mevon, I kind of need your help because I had a session with them last year and nothing really come out it. So I think like if you come and give me a hand, we could kind of come up with something.
Right.
And I was like, Kit living in the Vale, I live in St. Lucian. So it's easy. I live in 2 minutes away from Kit house.
Right.
So Kit is like, yeah, come through now. Come through and add to the vibes.
Yeah.
So we end up just vibing in the studio. And Lou came up with these chords. And it's like, it's something like High Mass, boy. You know, that wasn't done on purpose as well. But it's like, okay, even if the chord progression is similar, let us not let the song or the lyrics or the melody song like High Mass.
Yeah.
So Muhammad and I went outside and we vibe. So Lou and Kit was inside, kind of laying down the guitars and stuff. And me and Muhammad outside, it just vibing, trying to come up with melodies that do song like High Mass. And then I came up with the hook, the main hook. He Take Me Home. And then he was like, yeah, the song ain't good, but we went inside and the fellas had like it and we put it down. And then we didn't have a post-chorus.
Right.
And I, once again, I was like, we need a bacchanal pad, but we need some jamming in this, but it's too nice. The whole song too nice. I was like, we need a little jamming.
Right.
And I came up with it. Me and Muhammad again. And it was just mumbles. And Lou was like, fellas, this is the hot fries.
Yeah.
He's like, this is the hot fries that Trinidadians like. He's like, this is what I like, hot fries with ketchup.
And look, that's what people hold on to, eh?
That is it.
That's what people hold on
That's just what they hold on to. So that was an easy session too.
Yeah.
It was a few sessions because Mohammed and Lou wanted to tweak the lyrics and stuff. But in terms of the coming up with the first draft, that was our first session. With beat and melodies one time.
I think people underestimate, like listeners. I hear people talk about a High Mass and Take Me Home comparison, but people underestimate how much songs are the same chords.
Of course.
You say you learn 3 chords on the quattro.
Yeah.
That is 10,000 songs.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't understand this.
Chord progressions is nothing new under the sun.
Of course.
It becomes unique when it changes, or the tones, the BPM, the tempo, the groove, all those things. Well, everything will make it unique.
Right.
But the actual chord progression, if it's a look at the A minor, A thing, C thing, it's the same thing.
It's what it is.
It's what it is.
Yeah, it's what it is.
You can't invent anything new.
Yeah, one of these days you should make one that new. So you hear everybody how bad it's song and they will understand why you had to go back to something.
Yeah. So that was a nice experience.
I had to tell people how terrible my timing was this week, right? Because Mevon is very organized and clearly I'm not, because I have this thing booked for our next half hour and Conrad and them now putting me out back here. It's about a song I'd ask you about, and I'll tell you, like, when I saw P.A.R.D.Y, and I saw Take Me Home, and I see your name. I said, nah, that's also, I had to find out who is this man. He knows something. But one of them songs that was out for me that you did was Nadia Batson Every Time is work that you did.
Yeah, that was a nice collaboration.
How it
That was in me and Stems. So COVID again.
Right.
Stems reached out to me he's like, bro, a real fan of your work and that kind of stuff, and let's collaborate on a track. So he would have sent me the chords.
Right.
And Stems came from a chutney background. So
he's in Canada, yes?
Yeah, Montreal.
Okay. Montreal.
Yeah. So he sent me the chords. So he's a keyboardist.
I see.
So he's very good at music. And he sent me the chords, and I was like, this what kind of farmer energy, you know. So he sent me it, and then I said, send me the chords. I don't like your drums.
Right, so
you don't have it. You don't have our drums, right? So I take it.
Explicit.
Yeah. I say, I mute the man drums, and I do over the drums, and I add some sauce and stuff. Right. I was like, you know, anybody can put guitars on this, boy? He's like, yeah, do it, and he sent it back and things. So I was kind of guiding what he had. So he came up with the chords first, and then I would have added to it, and then that was our next story where I didn't believe. So I sent it to Aiko and Nadia first, and they sent me back anytime. And I was like, I don't think there is it, boy.
Really?
I have the screenshots to show. I said, I don't think there is it, boy.
What?
And then I ended up sending it to Corie, and Corie came up with it. And I was like, you know what? Let me just make this a 2-man rhythm then. I messaged back Aiko like November. I was like, we go and go through it, send me the files.
Right.
Just by the way, now come meet. I was like, the Cohen is it, boy.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, we're going to go with the Cohen.
Imagine that. Imagine that.
Horrible judge of songs. I say, yeah, boy, the Cohen is it. You go and go with this 2-song rhythm. I say, Stems, you go and go through this, boy. And every time, just take off.
Yeah,
that time she had market,
Yeah.
So when it drop, it didn't really resonate yet.
Keep building.
It just build, and then catch it along the line.
Yeah, now it's gonna go around as one of our classics.
Yeah.
Because every time I take a drink, I feel like whining too.
Yeah, so that was one of them things that was a Mevon poor judgment.
Good. So at least we learned something today. We learned for sure. But when you go by Mevon, do something you ain't like at all. And you go through
Trailer Jam Rhythm was the next thing like that.
Yeah.
That was with Trinidad Killer and Temper. TEMPA and Soca push back Friday. I didn't like that rhythm at all. That rhythm was in the recycle bin. And Lady Lava is who came
and bring it back
and wrote all the songs on that rhythm.
Oh, she write them?
Ride On Till We Lie Down for Trinidad Killer. Temper by the Truck. Patrice Roberts remix. The Father Fox and the Young Brother on it.
Mevon, we need a part 2. Listen, all right. So this is the first episode officially where we stopping and we're gonna come back and do part 2. We had to start over. This is a whole next story again into because I have every genre of music you touch. I want to tell you, like I tell you in the beginning, with where Kenny Phillips and them concerned. Like I saw your comments when I put up the Kenny Phillips episode. I said there's one you had to see, and I guarantee you that the work you're doing now, they're going to talk about all the same exact.
I mean, we didn't even talk about the trap so thing that we did with P.A.R.D.Y.
We didn't talk about
because
nothing.
we talk about how Kenny and them was branding things.
Right.
Like when it says we were doing hip hop, we had branded trap so because it was trap music with soca elements. You know, and that was done by design.
Gotcha.
You know, we was purposely looking for soca melodies.
Yeah.
And soca or carnival references to put in our songs, but the beats was trap.
So part 2, Conrad, you gonna make sure we book the right time the next time, right? Yeah, just make sure we book the right time. But we'll do a part 2 where I appreciate you coming through this.
Fellow Aquarian.
Yeah, but imagine that. That was unplanned. People would never believe you didn't plan that, you know. But I appreciate you coming through. We only take one drink. We had to do better next time.
Take more as problems.
Thanks a million, man.